Hey y'all, welcome back to my Facebook page. Welcome back to another live video. For you guys watching on YouTube, welcome back. It's good to see you guys again. So, my energy is kind of low because your girl got turned up yesterday. I think I've been celebrating too much. Just having fun, having a good old time. Because I am almost done, you guys, out here in LA, like with my program. So I've been having fun. And yes, last night I actually went out with a group of friends. We went to the Laugh Factory on Sunset Boulevard and saw some comedians out there. It was just chilling. So I want to do this video because I was inspired to this video from this conversation that I had today. It's always a conversation that sparks these videos, you guys. So I'm not going to put it off. I could easily put it off and say, I'll do it another day. No, I'm going to do it today. I got to talk about this topic, you guys, on can money, can cha-ching, can it buy love? But I'm a little bit tired. Like I said, I was out last night late, and I was drinking my wine, my Pinot Grigio. And I had a couple glasses, and I didn't want to, drink and drive. You can't drink and drive, right? That's illegal. You can't do that. So the safe thing to do is just to stay the night at a friend's place. So that's what I did. But I didn't get any sleep. I keep telling my friend, I can't get sleep when I'm at your place. I can't. It's just, I think for me, you guys probably can relate. I sleep better when I'm in my own bed. I gotta be in my bed. And by the way, who's tuning in? Where y'all watching from? Who's watching? Y'all let me know. What y'all think about this topic, though? Can money buy love? Now, I've come across, you guys know I've been single for a little bit, and it's actually been a nice journey being single. It's kind of been refreshing, rewarding. I've had some time to reflect, to grow, to just appreciate myself and being just involved and interacting with people in the world, and just it's a good place, I think, when you're alone as opposed to when you're with someone. Yes, you can learn a lot about yourself when you're with somebody, but I think you can learn a lot about yourself when you just kind of coasting through life, taking care of business as a single person, as a single man and woman. Yes, and I just been feeling good about it. And I've come across so many good people. It's not hard, obviously, for me to attract people, guys, good-looking guys, well-off guys. I mean, just look at this beauty. Let me stop. But yeah, I do love myself. But I've come across all kinds of guys, and wealthy guys, broke dudes that got baby mamas, and I'm just like, nah, that's not really my type. But you guys know I've been doing these videos for a while, and I've actually talked to you guys about my dating preferences, right? And the kind of man that I'm interested in. And of course, I like my man a little well endowed, not just down there, not just between the legs, but in the pockets, right? That's important, I think, to have financial stability, especially when it comes to building a family. That's what I'm working towards. I don't have kids yet, but I'm working towards that. I eventually want kids. I am, finishing up my PhD program. I'm getting ready to start my career as a doctor. So I'm ready. And of course, for me, I have standards. You just got to. I feel like it's important because we usually identify with people that are like us. We can relate to people that are like us. I'm an intellectual, so of course I like other intellectuals. Richard, I see you watching. Who else is tuning in? And y'all be getting on me about that sometimes. Oh, you're a gold digger. You're this. I don't care. I don't think I'm a gold digger. I know I'm not a gold digger. I'm far from it. By the way, y'all, I am out in my car. I'm just chilling because I'm buying out some time until this meeting that I have. But I do have preferences, and I think it's important. And there are some things that turn me on about a man, right? Like a certain kind of man that I'm attracted to, that I tend to attract. You know, obviously I'm African American woman. I do like African men. It's something about the African male like culture. They just know how to do it. They know how to be men. They know how to take care of their women, and I like to be taken care of. I like to be nurtured. Like, I'm just a baby girl at heart. That's just me. So I know y'all been watching my posts. Some of y'all actually been following my page, and y'all just like, this girl is a trip. But I met this guy. If you've been following my page, you probably already know his name, because I made a joke about it on my page today. About dating a guy with that certain name. But he is African. Very smart man. And I just like what he said. It is not that he's just talking, like trying to spit game. Like, this is how African men are. And African men watching this, y'all can vouch for yourself. This is how you guys are, where you know how to take care of home. That to me is important. However, it's not the only thing. Just because your pockets are thick don't mean that you got my heart, you know. You might have my attention, but that don't mean you got my heart, you know. That's a whole nother level right there, you know. And I think this is a problem where some guys that I've encountered while dating out here, they think just because they well endowed and their bank accounts, you know, are nice and pretty nice, right? That they just gonna easily get them a woman. And it's just like, no, it goes beyond. It's deeper than that. I've met all kinds of guys. Like, I've talked to you guys about the kind of men that I've met. Like, literally met, like, face to face, or went out on dates with. And it's just, and people ask me, like, how could you just let him go like that? Like, dude is a millionaire. Dude has a mansion in Hollywood Hills. And I'm just like, so what? If I'm not, we have to have a mental connection. If the mental connection is not there, you lost my interest. Like, I have to be connected to you. It's just not about your status in society and the fact that you got all this money and you got financial stability, and yes, those things are important. But if I'm not, there's no connection. And it's something, that connection I'm talking about is something that's beyond words. Like, it's something that we feel, men and women. It's like metaphysical. We feel this vibrational energy that we have when we meet our partner that we like, that is made for us. You know, it's something that happens on the subconscious level. And if I come across a potential guy, and I don't feel that energy, it's like, no, maybe we can be friends, but, and you'll know, I'm going to tell you, like, you'll know if, like, that energy is there, because it's the look in my eyes that I'll give you, like, and sometimes my eyes can be misleading, and people say that my eyes are, like, they speak volumes, you know, even looking at you guys now, like, what my eyes are saying to you guys, but no, like, I think sometimes guys misinterpret, like, when I look at them, they just think, like, oh, I'm in love. No, you'll know if I'm, like, in love. Number one, I think, first of all, we all carry this persona. We all carry, like, we walk around with this facade, like, oh, you know, I'm not really looking for love, but I'm open to it, you know, if I fall in love, so what, or kind of like, I want to be in love, but I don't need you like that, so if it happens kind of thing. It's more of a facade, when we know deep down inside, we desire love, right? Like, why can't we just be honest with ourselves and be like, yeah, man. But I get it, though. We want to protect our heart. It makes sense. So I can admit, like, yeah, you know, I may carry a certain kind of facade, like, it's whatever. And with some guys, it's just like, you know what, I'm okay if we just maintain our friendship, right? Where the fuck was I going with that? So I said that to say, like, the energy. So the energy, like, has to be there. And if a guy will know if it's there, because, oh, that's where I was going with it. So the whole thing about the facade, I was trying to say, like, the pride comes with that. Like, I have a sense of confidence or conceited. I admit I'm a little bit conceited, where I'm just like, I know who I am, you know, like I'm the prize kind of thing. And so, and some, I turn guys on, some guys like that because they kind of the same way. It's just like our energies match, right? But this is a thing. When I'm feeling a guy, I think that facade or that wall that I put up, and it's just something that's natural, and something I'm putting too much thought into. It's just something that kind of happens. I think it kind of goes down. It kind of like dissipates, right? When I come across a guy, like, I'm like, damn, ooh, he got me. Like, it ain't just about the looks. Of course, looks, that's, you know, the physical attraction. That's what may draw me in, you know, and him having something going for himself in terms of a good, decent income and financial stability, and, you know, him being single and not having freaking kids, because I don't have kids and I don't want to deal with extra baggage, right? At least not that kind of baggage, because we all come with baggage. But it's like, yeah, I come across this guy and I'm like, okay, he got everything, all the check marks, you know, all the boxes are checked in terms of the standards I look for in a guy. But if there's that energy that is there, that my guard is gonna go down. Cause I ain't gonna lie, like, guys who I've dated, they can attest to this. Like, I make it difficult for guys sometimes, you know. People call it playing hard to get. It's not playing hard to get. This is the real deal. Like, I make it difficult, you know. But sometimes, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like, if I'm really feeling a guy, I'm not going to make it too difficult for him. But that's the reverse psychology, guys. That's why, like, it's levels to this. Because I'm making this video not just for myself, but just to kind of share my own experience, because I know you guys can relate. Don't get it mistaken, because just because a woman is playing, like, hard to get and making it difficult for you does not mean she's not interested. In fact, it may mean that she's really interested in you. And she wants to communicate that she's serious. She wants you to understand that by her putting up a guard and taking her time with you, because she wants to protect the sanctity of that relationship versus just being all out and open and just giving it up. When I say giving up, I ain't talking about the coochie. I know y'all quick to go there. It could be the coochie, but I'm just saying, like, giving it up in terms of, like, her emotional availability towards the guy in a relationship. Or, you know, just her availability, period. Just being physically available, present, you know. So she may kind of take it slow and give piece by piece by piece when it's convenient for her. And then the guy may feel frustrated about it because he's just like, why is she giving me such a hard time? But obviously she cares not only about herself, but about the bond, the relationship that she's trying to nurture with the guy. So that's like the reverse psychology part. On the other hand, a woman can just be guarded and is intentional and is very direct. And it's because she's just like, nah, he ain't the one. So I think for me, like, my guard naturally goes down when I am in the presence of a guy that meets those standards, that I'm feeling, that I'm loving, that I'm like, and so, yeah, I am talking to this one guy. I mean, I'm talking to several guys, to be honest with you, because that's just how it is. We gotta be like, it's like shopping for a car. A guy told me this. It's like shopping for a car. You can't just test drive one car and get your mind in the gut. I ain't talking about fucking. I'm just talking about exploring your options and seeing what's out there. Like, I'm in the dating phase. Like, I'm exploring my options, seeing what's out there. I'm talking to this guy, talking to that, just seeing, you know, not dividing my energy, you know, amongst too many different men, because that would defeat the whole purpose. But, you know, just a few guys. Like, I have a few prospects. I'm just like, And sometimes guys make it easy, like, to make a decision. Just like, nah. That ain't gonna work. You are too needy. You know, like some guys are super needy when it comes to attention. Like they talk too much and you always focus on them. The conversation, you know, is just always on about them, and a lot of them don't want to spend no money. They broke. They penny pinching, watching their pockets, and I'm just like, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. And that's what this video is about in terms of can money buy love. Money can definitely get a woman's attention, I think. But in terms of the love, the sincerity of a true love relationship where she's pouring out her heart and she's opening herself up, she's making herself vulnerable to you, I think it can help open up that vulnerability. You know, because love is like this big construct that's very dynamic and has all these different moving parts to it. You know, so we're talking about trust, we're talking about vulnerability that goes along with trust. They like are hand in hand, you know. In order to nurture and build trust, there has to be a certain degree of vulnerability, right? And in order for a person to be vulnerable, they have to have some kind of trust. So I think when a man is loose a little bit with his pocket, I ain't saying too loose now, like don't come off as desperate, like, oh, I'll buy you anything, whatever you want to eat, we'll go to any restaurant you want to go to. I mean, I'll let you drive my car, you can drive my BMW, my Benz, I'll give you keys to my home. Like, slow your roll, because you coming off as too desperate, right? And that can be a complete turn off. You think that you got this money and this money gonna buy her, and it's just like, and it might do the opposite. You throwing all these jewels at her, and that's kind of like what I've been through. Like you can't buy my love, you know. You might get my attention, but if anything, it can turn me off, because I'm just like, nah, like, why are you doing too much? Why are you throwing all these jewels at me? It seems like it's too good to be true. Like, it's like a red flag. Like, something is not right. It makes you wonder, right? But to a certain extent, I think, like I said, it can soften a woman up. You know, so when a guy offers to take a woman on a date, and of course he pays, and it's not like he's concerned about the money. Like, y'all have to understand, like I say, this thing is very dynamic, man. Love, falling in love, is so many parts to it. Because these factors, like the trust and the vulnerability, yes, they are tied into these actions that a man may take. Like going out on a date, and, you know, when the bill comes and he pull out his wallet and he look at the bill, but he ain't looking at it too hard, you know. Even how long a man look at the bill, that could be a turn off. It's like, all right, I was in love, but I fell out of love because you looking at that bill too long, you know. It's just like, and let me break it down, because I don't want to make y'all think like, oh, you know, it's about yes, it's about the money. I mean, we live in America. This is a capitalist society. Like, everything costs to freaking survive here. But in terms of adaptability and survival for a woman in choosing a mate, yes, it freaking matters how much money he has, because it determines the viability. Like, can he provide? No woman, I mean, come on, educated, smart woman ain't gonna lay up and with no man in no bed and to let him ejaculate his freaking sperm with the potential of producing a whole child, a whole being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, smart women don't do that. So I don't have kids, because I'm like, that whole child support thing, that ain't gonna be me. A whole single mama struggling, nah. I'd rather just go through this life without any kids, period. Or just go through the IVF process. I made a whole video on that, because it's like, I'm considering like IVF. But going back to the whole date at the restaurant, and he looking at the tab, looking at that shit too long. It's just like, I mean, if you observe behavior like myself, I mean, I'm studying psychology, I'm trained to become a psychologist. Like, that's all I'm doing is analyzing behavior all the time. And you look at how long the way he look at the freaking tab, like, that made me think, like, I mean, naturally in the person's mind, you generalize that whole encounter right there, interaction. Like, if he looking at the tab like that, imagine we could be in Walmart, Target, wherever we buy diapers at, and he's sitting up here can't even afford the diapers. You can't if you can't afford a $40, $50 freaking date, and you scratching your head and you digging in your pockets and you fumbling, you making up excuses. Oh, my card got canceled and all this fucking shit. Forget about it. I'm not even interested anymore. I don't want to do this no more. Like, I can be by myself. Like, I can take myself out on a date. Like, that's what I've been doing. Like, and I can take myself out to some good restaurants too. Like, not even worried about the tab, you know? So, if I'm treating myself to nice dinners at very nice restaurants, and I'm not worried about the tab. Why is it that I have to deal with a date where he's sitting up here scratching? We're making like, nah, that is not going to be me. So this is just me, like, hypothetically speaking, just talking out loud, you know, when it comes to can money buy love. That ain't going to happen. Now, take the same scenario, and the man, we sitting at the desk, we sitting at the dinner table, dining at a restaurant, maybe even of his choice. I kind of like for a man to take the lead anyway. That's me. You know, you lead, I follow, especially if you know what you're doing and you taking me somewhere. You know, I don't mind. That shit is sexy as hell. When a man know what he want, he like, all right, we're gonna go here. You know what I'm saying? I got this in mind. I got this. Like, as long as it's right. Like, when a man does it like that, the shit gotta be right. Don't lead me to some place and the food is crap. Like, you gotta know what my taste buds are, you know? It's something sexy about that when a man can get to know a woman and what she likes, you know, what she doesn't like, and then he lands that shit. Like, he nails it, you know? And go to the restaurant and, you know, even if you pick it like, hey, I got this item in mind, I want you to try this, some kind of like thing like that, right? And I try it and that shit is good. Man, that shit's sexy as hell. That shit is a turn on. So we at a restaurant and the guy is, you know, we eating or whatever, and then the tab come, pull out the wallet, bam bam, lay their motherfucking debit card out, you know. No worries. Matter of fact, we ain't even talking about that. You know, he ain't even really thinking about pulling it. He just, you know, pull it out. He ain't even really focused on that, right? He focused on me. You know, we having a conversation. Like, he ain't even focused on pulling the wallet out, and he just do that because that's what he used to doing anyway, right? Like, that's the kind of, like, that's what I'm saying. That's what will allow me to relax my guard, because you know what that goes into? This is all psychological, y'all. That goes into security. And how many times have you heard women say security is what we need? Security. All the way around in all facets of life. We just need security. Financial security obviously is a big one, right? So when a man just is able to do that, not even thinking about the tab, and just boom, boom, boom. You know, we talking about dinner now. We ain't talking about like, okay, buying a house or, you know, yeah, you want to kind of be financially conscious in your decisions and stuff like that when you making those level of purchases. But we just talking about dining out, like you making a life decision, just dining at a restaurant. That concerns me. That concerns me. So yeah, that's, to me, that's very attractive when a guy can make moves like that. And that's just one example, like at a restaurant, you know. You just dining, it's like, okay. But hearing a guy, and like I said, like I'm considering, you know, I attract all kind of guys. I've dated defense attorneys. I've dated freaking business people that got these massive business profiles, and they own all these properties and doing all these different investments. And like, okay, that sounds good and all, you know. But to a certain extent, like, I'm interested in that, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in you. That's why I'm dating. I'm not here to sit up here and listen to you talk for hours and hours and hours about your freaking business investments and how much money you sending overseas and that. Okay, that's cool, but is that why we're dating? So like these are just side things that sometimes I have to encounter in dating men that have money, because it's just like I think they are overwhelmed to a certain extent because they're doing pretty well for themselves. Like, I admire you. You're doing good. You own a house and you taking vacations 4 and 5 times a year, sometimes once a month. I'm like, kudos to you. But it's always a but. It's just like, this is what I got to deal with on top of that. Like, I got to listen to you go on and on and on and on for the hours because you got so much on your plate. It's stressing you out. Then I become your therapist. I mean, I am a therapist, but I ain't trying to do it 24/7. Maybe I admit, maybe that's just my selfishness. Y'all chime in. Let me know what y'all think. Because I just be like, that's too much. That's too much. And so now here we go, like another doctor. I was talking to this other doctor. I'm just like, all these doctors. I don't think I want to date a doctor. I don't know. It's something about. Somebody said it best. Danielle, you should just date a blue collar person. Just date them. It's crazy because it's like naturally, y'all. Like that's what I attract. I attract men that's kind of well off. Like, cause I ain't gonna look at a guy who, like, a woman. No, woman be scoping. We scope. Yeah, just like y'all do. I think it's just like natural selection. It's just something that happens. Subconsciously, right? When we peeping people out, like, oh, they on my level. Oh, they on my level, kind of thing. So. Yeah, I think one of the best advice that I've been told is just date blue collar. Because, like, at least you can get a human being, like a grounded person. And it would be nice if I can find a guy and date a guy who is well off financially, good social status, all that shebang, right? But he's grounded. Because I'm grounded. Like, despite my level of whatever, like, I just like to kick it and chill and, we hanging out. I ain't talking about my status or my earning potential. And I'm like, that's irrelevant to me, I think. That's like, that's background information. Like, let's not make that the focus of our interaction. But that's the issue that seems like these guys is just like, why are you talking about your business portfolio? Like, that's not gonna win me over. That's a turnoff. That's the only focus of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we talk about something else? But about the guy, he's a doctor. He got some good money. He's pulling in decent. Like, close to $500,000 a year. But okay, he's Nigerian, and he's Igbo. That's his tribe. He had to put me up on game. Like, I didn't know that there are 3 tribes within Nigeria. I'm like, I know there's 3 tribes, and I don't think I knew the Hausa, but I did know those 3. I knew there were the Igbo, the Yoruba, and we talking about the Hausa today, right? We were talking about religions and stuff like that. And so, like, he's like, yeah, I'm Igbo. I've dated an Igbo. He was an engineer. He was an asshole. And I've dated a guy that was from the Yoruba tribe. He was cool. He was a doctor of pharmacy. This was way back when I was in college, my Florida State years. And so now this guy he got my attention, but then I'm afraid that he's gonna lose it in a way because he's the guy that I just described. Like, he got some things going for himself. He's well off, own a home and everything. Like, he's set, got multiple cars, Benz, fucking Lexus, Mercedes, blah blah blah, BMW. But I feel like that, to me, that's materialistic stuff. Like, that's why I'm glad that I was raised humble, because that always lives in you. That's just like, y'all ever notice like Cardi B? She's well off financially, right? But if you were to come across her on the street and you ain't know who she was, you would just think that she's just a down to earth, chick, a round-the-way chick. I like that. Like, that's me. And the motherfucker will never know how much money I got, because it ain't none of their business, number one. But it's not something that I think is important to flaunt and be talking about here. And like, just live. Nobody cares about your size of your bank account. Who cares? Anybody can get money. Money is frivolous. That's stupid. So it annoys me when guys do that, because I'm like, I can't be bought. Guys, and especially in some places, like, I mean, I live in LA, and it's a lot of millionaires out here, multimillionaires, people who are on the up and up, not quite millionaires, but they like, there, and it's just so superficial. Money, 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 like brands, and talking about, oh, I got this. Y'all see how I'll be dressing. It don't matter to me. That's not important to me. I would rather like build programs to give back to my community and travel, like do charity work. Like, to me, that's my richness. That's where my richness lies. Whereas you got some people, they just so self-consumed, and they spend all the money on themselves, and that's my dilemma, y'all. I'm just like, what am I gonna do? I'm 36 years old. Who am I gonna date? Should I just date a blue collar guy? But then that's a whole nother thing. Cause okay, what if I'm making more money than him? Y'all talk to me. Don't let me talk. Talk back to your girl. Like, I'm making more money than him, right? He got income. Then it's gonna feel like I'm running the relationship. And like I was telling this other different guy, I was just, in conversation, just talking. And I was just like, unless you are very assertive and direct, I'm going to run this relationship. You have to be very direct with me, be confident too. And that's sometimes get guys because they like confidence. And sometimes I think that does factor into it. Like, all of this stuff is tied together. Like I was explaining earlier, how when you have a certain amount of income coming in, for a lot of people, it does kind of go to their head, right? It kind of boosts their confidence. And sometimes, I guess you can look at that as a superficial level of confidence, because if you don't have that money, then you ain't shit, basically. So what are you without that money? The money kind of makes the person. But it can feed into a person's level of security and self-esteem, and, efficacy about who they think they are and what they believe they're capable of achieving and doing, right? And especially when it comes to like interactions with people and women, dating, And I feel like a lot of guys who pockets be hurt, and they just be like, they be very passive and kind of beta male-ish, and that's not my type. So maybe ultimately I'm pretty much probably have the false expectation of meeting someone who is just a perfect guy. There ain't no such thing as a perfect. You're gonna deal with the flaws. It's just a matter of what am I willing to deal with. But when you've been living life single for a while, which I have since 2017, and it feels so good to be single, and you just can get up and go and make decisions without having to consult with somebody else, and having to listen to somebody long stories about their long day at work and their business portfolio and whatever, like the business deals they've made that gone bad, and I don't care. I just don't care, like, and I hate to say it to them, but it's like, I really don't. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Maybe I'm not ready to date. But no, I'm a human being. I have desires, We was talking about that today, the unmet needs. We all have unmet needs, right? But I'm just like, do I want to deal with that shit? Women, we know how to get our needs met without a man sometimes. And y'all be doing the same thing, man. Shoot, y'all be getting y'all needs met too. Fill out that Vaseline, you good to go. Women pull out that vibrator, we good to go. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, but who gonna do that forever? Like, who wants to live that life for 20, 30, 40 plus more years? Fuck that shit. No. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to explore. I'm ready to, like, okay, see what is dating life or marriage life, relationship life be like, like, especially in this time of my life. Like, dang, give it a try, Danielle. We shall see. But it's just that annoys me. And y'all let me know what y'all think. What y'all think about this in terms of the question, the topic of this video. Can money buy love? You have some people say, yeah. Say more than money to buy my love. You gotta have that it factor. And I already talked about what that it factor is in terms of what I look for in a guy. You gotta be dominant. Like, you gotta know what turns me on. If you ain't got it, that money is only a part of it, yes, because money speaks to a degree of a man's dominance in our society. And in terms of the decisions that he's able to make, things he's able to do, things he's not able to do, because lack thereof. So, yes, money is important, but it ain't in terms of how much important. I said, I made a video on Does Size Matter? I talked about, I ranked 3 things that a guy can bring to the table in a relationship and how important they are based on their ranking. The dick size, the size of his wallet, and the size of his brain, figuratively speaking. And I think I ranked, if I can recall correctly, I ranked the size of the brain, meaning smart, having intellect, as number 1. Then I think I did wallet size number 2 and dick size number 3. But apparently all 3 of those are important. So for me to even mention all 3 of those in one video in terms of does anything matter, apparently all 3 matter, and they probably matter equally. But if I had to rank them, that's how I would do it. So with all that said, yes, there are many different factors that go into love and a woman falling in love, especially this woman falling in love with a man. Money is a factor, but it's other, like I said, that it factor. You gotta have those other qualities, characteristics. And what gets me a lot of times is guys have a nerve to ask, what do you like in a man? And I'm not gonna tell you. I mean, I'll have a conversation with you guys about it. This is me vlogging, right? This is me just freaking talking. But I'm not a guy who's so-called supposed to be a prospect or potential. Like, I'm not about to tell you what I look for. Like, what purpose does that serve? So you can try to pretend, to fake. Like, you will know if you have those qualities and vice versa. You ain't got to fake and pretend to be something that you're not. And if you're not, then okay, go on. There's somebody out there for everyone. If we're not a good match, there's somebody who is. That's how I look at it, I mean, if you're just curious to know what I like, then okay. But that's not going to change anything, because I know if you genuinely have those qualities, or if you genuinely faking it and being a phony, I know a real dominant man when I see one. It's that energy. But on that note, it is 2:38 my time, Pacific Standard Time. So I'm about to wrap this video up because I gotta get ready for this meeting. I enjoyed having this conversation with you guys. I mean, well, it really wasn't a conversation because y'all was quiet during my live video on Facebook. But that's okay, because YouTube always comes through. And I know people on YouTube have a lot to say. And then maybe I'm just not able to see the comments. I don't know, because the reception where I am. But I thank you guys for tuning in. And I might come back with a part 2 because I know I've been kind of like laying low. I kind of been chilling on a vlogging tip because I just been living life, you know, like I'm making moves. This is a very pivotal moment in my life right now. It's pretty critical. So your girl been out here doing things, a lot of things I can't really talk about too much, but I thought I'll just sneak right in and do this quick video. Because y'all, man, I be wanting to do videos for y'all, men, sometimes just to give y'all some dating tips, just to put y'all up on game. But that ain't really going to change nothing because, like I say, you are who you are. I mean, certain things that y'all can't do in terms of, you know, y'all behaviors. It's just like, come on, man. That's just, you fucking up. But I feel like a person's conscious, a subconscious mind is going to drive their behavior. And that's what usually happens. Like, so if a man is holding out with on his pocket, you know, in his wallet, his debit card, he kind of like, you know, really he's swiping it, but he don't really want to swipe it, kind of thing. That ain't. I mean, his subconscious is driving him to do that. That's just like he know that he ain't ready to date. He know that. And then you got some men that are ready to date, but they just know that she ain't the right one. So they just like, they not going to invest because a relationship is an investment. And so they feel like, well, I don't see myself with her long term. So they may hesitate. And they should do that, rightfully so. I know if I was a man, shit, like men say, I saw a video, like, why we gotta pay all this money just to see if we like a woman? Like, in terms of dating, like, why we gotta spend all this money? And from a guy's perspective, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, even from a female perspective, I think about it, that kind of makes, like, why you gotta spend so much money just to see if you like somebody? But, I mean, because decisions are being made at the millisecond level, like, so each person is observing the other person, seeing, like, how they move, right? And so, yes, that matters. You know, it's an interview. You know what I'm saying? For a relationship, and especially if a person is really serious about their intent, you know, and dating long term and it leading to marriage and a family and all that good stuff. Like, yes, these little small decisions where you think somebody ain't really paying attention and is deciding on if they're going to call your ass back the next day or how much time they're going to spend with you, that matters, man. This thing is critical here. But I enjoyed this conversation. I'm going to catch you guys later in the next one. You guys have a blessed day.